Hey everyone, this is Jdawg and I'm here with another video, and this is another edition of Jdawg Sports. So, in this edition of Jdawg Sports, we're going to talk about more on polynomiology, or should I say cracker or polynomiology, the man who lost to Adrian Broner, where not only did he lose his title in the match, but his girl. Now, there were some things I forgot to talk about when I was talking about how the Devin Haney-Lomachenko fight exposed the racism within boxing even further. When I was talking about certain individuals, this man, polynomiology or cracker, was one of the people that I talked about. I talked about that he was still upset at Devin Haney over the white boy will never beat me. This was also the same man that kept saying that Eastern Europeans was taking over the sport of boxing. All a bunch of lies. Because that's exactly what did not happen. In fact, there's only a small number of Eastern Europeans who are top of the list in the sport of boxing and are champions. We know that a couple come from Ukraine and a couple come from Russia. But that is when you decide to compare it to 13 black Americans. Many people reason why I'm saying that black America is taking over the sport of boxing in at least the United States of America is because I just actually said the answer. There's 13 black champions currently. And even if some were to lose now, then you only have a little bit left. But still, when it comes to American boxing, black people dominate American boxing at least. The only other people that can sorta claim argument of being the face of boxing or who's kind of dominating would have to be the Hispanic community. Although I personally still believe that black people are the dominant force of boxing. The only reason why some people would claim it would be the Hispanics, because there is technically more Hispanic fighters with championship belts, but only globally, because these different fighters come from multiple countries, not just one, multiple countries that have a majority dominant or majority Hispanic population. But other than that, I still believe that it's truly the black American that is the face of boxing, like a Gervonta Tank Davis. Even though he doesn't have a main title, he just has an interim. Others say that it will be Devin Haney, Earl Spence, or Terrence Crawford, especially Devin Haney, because he is undisputed, one of the youngest undisputed champions. Well, he's at least the face of the current state of the lightweight division in boxing because he's the undisputed champion. But you have this moron, polynomiology, who, by the way, actually got fired for his racist behavior towards black people. Even the network said they could not deal with it, which was, by the way, the network was Showtime, and they just fired him. Polynomiology also, the reason why I'm bringing him up again is because he also said something else that was very very disturbing in a way, and that is that he's blaming black people for why white people are leaving the sport of boxing. Yes, he is blaming us, or of black people in general, of why white people, and here's why he's saying this. He believes that white American athletes, white American athletes and white American fans, just white American fans, not any other white, not Eastern Europeans or British white people or Canadian. He technically said white people in general, but we know he really meant the white American. We know he really meant just the white American, at least. He went around saying that they're leaving the sport because there's really no champion, which to a case that is true, or at least no fighter that's being talked about that represents the white American community that's right now a dominant force in boxing. So that's why he's saying that there is that there's hope for this is what Paulie Malignaggi is saying, that a lot of them are going to other combat sports like MMA, which is very interesting because right now the UFC currently has 3 American champions, but here's the thing, all the American champions are black, at least the UFC. Now, yes, there is 2 white American champions in Bellator, but the UFC, because the UFC, I brought up the UFC because they are the #1 American-based MMA promotion, and they have 3 American champions that are black. They actually have no white American champions, which is why I think Dana White is trying to push Colby Covington. I could talk about him in that situation, because I do have a video coming up after I record it, or if I haven't made it already, upload it, on a situation involving an MMA fighter and Dana White, but that's another story. But yeah, Paulie Malignaggi doesn't realize that the UFC does not have white champions that are American either right now. But he's saying that white fans that are American are leaving the sport is because they don't have no one to relate to. Well, technically, they had at least one man and one woman that they could have rallied behind, and that was Caleb Plant and Michaela Mayer, especially when they at one point had champions. I noticed that most of their fan base was black. And yet, you know what? When Caleb Plant was a champion, being a white American fighter with a championship, and by the way, he was one of the last couple or few white American champions, along with Joe Smith Jr. and Michaela Mayer. Why didn't Paulie Malignaggi and the white racist fans who were anti-black got behind Caleb Plant? Could it be because he had a fan base that consisted of black Americans too, and they didn't want to share them? They didn't want a white fighter that was friendly to the black community. I think that was the real reason, is because they want a white American who was basically a MAGA supporter and who was anti-black. That's what they really wanted. A white American fighter who was anti-black. And they wanted to be one that was a winner. Because as you know, Caleb Plant would eventually lose his title to a Mexican fighter named Canelo Alvarez. Michaela Mayer will actually lose to a black American fighter in Alicia Baumgarten in women's boxing. But when Caleb Plant was talked about when he was champion, why didn't Paulie Malignaggi and white Americans support Caleb Plant? Oh wait, I think I already answered that. Because, like I said, they wanted a champion that was anti-black. Like I said, Caleb Plant had a black fan base, Caleb Plant. that could have been your great white hope. You would even have one that was heavily favored by black people too. And then again, this also brings up the next question. What happened to that so-called patriotism? Or should I really call it fake patriotism? Including yours, paulie Malignaggi, you idiot. Some of these anti-black racists will be the same ones that when we decide not to stand up for the flag or stand up for the national anthem, they will tell us that we are not patriotic. If we don't cheer for Team USA, that we're not patriotic. And they know that the reason why some black people don't cheer for Team USA, not because they hate the players, is because they don't like how the country treats black people. But like I said, these will be the same ones that said you have to support America. You have to be a true patriot. Wasn't being a true patriot means supporting anyone that's representing America, including athletes, where you put race aside or religious belief and support them because they represent your country? Oh, that's right. That's only for the white athlete. Only the white athlete can be supported by not only his race but the country. Black people, they don't get support anyway. They don't get the treatment of being supported. The only fan base that supports the black American fighter right now is the black community. Mostly the members of the black community who are black Americans. That's the only fan base black fighters in America have. But like I said, fake patriotism. That shows you that they don't have real patriotism. This means black Americans are the most patriotic people compared to the racists, because we'll cheer for the American regardless of race. But anti-black racists will only cheer for the American if the American's not black. Paulie Malignaggi is saying that white people are leaving the sport because they have no white American top boxers. Which technically, yes, they don't. But like I said, paulie Malignaggi, I thought your kind were supposed to be the so-called most patriot. Y'all just a bunch of hypocrites. Y'all only care about white America. You only care about white people in America or white people globally. You're not real patriots to the country. Because then that means if you were real patriots, like I said earlier, you would be supporting everyone that represents the stars and stripes, the red, white, and blue. But that shows you don't. You don't want to support the black American who is trying to fight on this country's behalf, despite of how the black man or black woman or black kid or black people in general were treated by the government within this country. Paulie Malignaggi is jealous. Yeah, that's another reason why Paulie Malignaggi hates Devin Haney. He's jealous. Paulie Malignaggi does not have some of the same success as Devin Haney. And also, as mentioned earlier, that Paulie Malignaggi really hates black people because of where he comes from. He comes from an area that was completely racist in New York, Brooklyn in New York, that was extremely racist towards black people. And then there was the incident where Adrian Broner took away his woman. I believe it was either his wife or girlfriend. I'm talking about Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi, I think the woman that was with Paulie Malignaggi was either his girlfriend or wife. And Adrian Broder came in, beat Paulie Malignaggi, and took his girl with him. And he's hated he's probably been hating black people, but his hatred for black people was exposed even more since. Also, remember, Showtime, some of the lamestream media outlets, like your Showtime, which is associated with Paramount Global, they thought that he was so extreme, horrible, they had to fire Paulie Malignaggi. And this is probably another reason why he blames black fighters all the time, is because it was black people putting pressure on Showtime to get Paulie Malignaggi fired for his racist rhetoric against black people. And because Devin Haney beat Lomachenko, the white boy that Paulie Malignaggi thought would beat Devin Haney, Paulie Malignaggi is even more angry and more of a baby ever since. So, F you, Paulie Malignaggi, for your unsportsmanlike behavior. But that's all I have to say. Write down in the comment section what y'all think. Make sure you hit that video, make sure you, what I meant to say was, make sure you write something in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell. But that's all I have to say about Paulie Malignaggi's bias towards black people. He has a bias towards black people. But that's all I have to say for now. This is Jdawg. This has been another edition of Jdawg Sports. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. Peace, everyone.